Your liver is performing over 500 different chemical reactions simultaneously. It is filtering your entire blood supply, every single drop, once every 3 minutes. Right now, it is neutralizing the alcohol from last night, the pesticides on your salad, the paracetamol you took this morning, and hundreds of natural toxins your own body produces every second. And it does all of this without a single conscious thought from you. No on-off switch, no user manual, no complaints, until the day it stops working. Liver disease is the 11th leading cause of death worldwide. Millions of people walking around right now with livers under serious attack, and they feel completely fine. Today, I am taking you on the most detailed 3D journey through your liver that you have ever seen. We go inside the cells, inside the enzymes, inside the chemical reactions. And by the end of this video, you will understand this organ at a level most people never will. What we are dealing with. Your liver is the largest internal organ in your body, roughly the size of a football, sitting in the upper right of your abdomen, just under your rib cage. It weighs about 1.5 kilograms, around 3 pounds, and receives 25% of your entire cardiac output, meaning 1/4 of every heartbeat goes straight to your liver. Your liver receives blood from 2 separate sources. The hepatic artery brings oxygen-rich blood from the heart. The hepatic portal vein brings nutrient-rich blood directly from your intestines. Everything you absorb from food goes to the liver first. Inside the liver, there are roughly 100 billion cells, and 70 to 80% of them are hepatocytes. These are the workhorses, the cells that actually do the detoxification, metabolism, and production. These hepatocytes are organized into functional units called liver lobules, hexagonal structures about 1 millimeter wide. At the center of each lobule is a central vein. At each corner of the hexagon is a portal triad, containing a branch of the hepatic artery, the portal vein, and a bile duct. Blood flows inward toward the center, bathing every hepatocyte along the way. Your liver doesn't just remove toxins, it transforms them. And sometimes, that transformation makes them temporarily more dangerous before it makes them safer. Liver detoxification happens in 2 sequential phases. Phase 1 is called biotransformation. The liver's enzyme system breaks apart toxin molecules and adds reactive chemical handles to them. Phase 2 is conjugation. Those reactive handles are then attached to large water-soluble molecules, so the toxin can be flushed out in bile or urine. Phase 1 is dominated by a family of enzymes called the cytochrome P450 system, or CYP450. Your liver contains over 50 different CYP450 enzymes, each specialized for different classes of molecules. They live primarily in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum of your hepatocytes. The way CYP450 enzymes work is genuinely beautiful. Each enzyme has a pocket, an active site, that the toxin molecule fits into, like a key into a lock. At the base of that pocket,
the way
is an iron
CYP450
atom held in
enzymes
place
work
by a
is
porphyrin
genuinely
ring
beautiful.
Called the heme group. When a toxin molecule enters the active site, it displaces water and positions itself directly above the iron atom. The CYP450 enzyme then goes through a catalytic cycle. It uses electrons from NADPH and oxygen from the air you breathe to attach an oxygen atom directly onto the toxin. This process, called hydroxylation, changes the chemical character of the toxin. A fat-soluble toxin that was dissolving into your cell membranes now has a water-loving hydroxyl group attached to it. It can no longer hide in fatty tissues, but it is now more chemically reactive, which is why phase 1 metabolites can sometimes cause more cellular damage than the original toxin. If phase 2 cannot keep up with phase 1, these reactive intermediates can bind to your own DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, causing the kind of oxidative damage that leads to liver disease, and potentially even cancer. This is exactly what happens with paracetamol overdose. Different drugs interact with the CYP450 system in critical ways. Some drugs, like certain antibiotics and antifungals, block CYP450 enzymes, causing other drugs to accumulate to dangerous levels. Others, like alcohol consumed regularly, actually induce more CYP450 enzymes to be made, speeding up metabolism and sometimes creating more reactive intermediates. Phase 2 is where the liver does something brilliant. It takes those reactive phase 1 metabolites and attaches massive water-soluble molecules to them, neutralizing their reactivity and making them small enough to be excreted. The most important phase 2 pathway is glucuronidation, responsible for metabolizing about 40 to 70% of all clinical drugs, as well as bilirubin, steroid hormones, and many environmental toxins. The enzyme UGT, UDP glucuronidyltransferase, transfers a glucuronic acid molecule from a donor compound called UDP glucuronic acid onto the toxin. Glutathione conjugation is the liver's most critical defense against highly reactive toxins and oxidative stress. Glutathione, GSH, is a tiny 3-amino acid molecule: glycine, cysteine, and glutamate. It is the liver's master antioxidant, present in millimolar concentrations inside hepatocytes. When a reactive toxin enters the hepatocyte, like the NaPi-QI from paracetamol, glutathione S-transferase enzymes catalyze its attack. The sulfur atom of glutathione cysteine directly bonds to the reactive site on the toxin, neutralizing it completely. The resulting glutathione conjugate is then broken down further and eventually excreted as mercapturic acid in urine. Once toxins are conjugated and neutralized, they need to leave the body. The liver has 2 exit routes. Small, water-soluble metabolites exit into the blood and leave via the kidneys as urine. Larger, conjugated molecules, including fat-soluble toxins, cholesterol breakdown products, bilirubin, and heavy metals, are excreted into bile. Your liver produces 600 to 1,000 milliliters of bile every single day. Bile is a complex fluid containing bile salts, cholesterol, bilirubin, phospholipids, water, and a concentrated cocktail of conjugated toxins and drug metabolites. Bile salts are produced from cholesterol in the liver, making bile production one of the body's primary methods of cholesterol elimination. Each day, your liver converts 500 milligrams of cholesterol into bile salts. This is actually the main way your body gets rid of excess cholesterol, not through some supplement or detox tea. Bile flows from the hepatocytes through tiny canals called bile canaliculi, channels literally formed between the membranes of adjacent liver cells, then into bile ductules, then into larger bile ducts, then into the common bile duct, and finally into your gallbladder for storage, or directly into your small intestine. The liver is remarkably forgiving. Fatty liver, early inflammation, and even early scarring can all be completely reversed with the right lifestyle changes. Losing 7 to 10% of body weight reduces liver fat significantly and allows the liver's internal architecture to begin recovering. Coffee contains plant molecules that activate the liver's own antioxidant defenses and prevent scar-forming cells from becoming active, making it genuinely one of the most liver-protective foods studied. Just 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week directly reduces liver fat by increasing the rate at which liver cells burn fatty acids in their mitochondria. Regularly drinking more alcohol than your liver can process each hour overwhelms the processing machinery, causes toxic intermediate buildup, and floods the cell with byproducts that disrupt fat metabolism and generate damaging reactive molecules. Your liver sits under your right rib cage, receives a quarter of every heartbeat, runs over 500 functions simultaneously. And everything we have seen today is happening inside you right now. Phase 1 modifies toxins using protein machines in the internal membrane networks. Phase 2 attaches large carrier molecules, neutralizing them completely. The ammonia cycle converts the body's own waste into safe urea, and bile carries the largest waste packages out of the body through the intestine. Your liver is constantly renewing itself, and it is incredibly forgiving. But it has limits, and the damage from poor diet, excess alcohol, and chronic stress builds silently inside these cells for years before any symptom appears. Take care of your liver. It has been taking care of you every second of your life without asking for anything in return.